So the old communication model that I'm suggesting existed was you would take your message and you would send it one way to the rest of the world. Let's say you bought a commercial. Let's say you got on TV through PR. Let's say you publish a newspaper. One-way communication, okay? And that's still a part of the mix. But in this world, when you spread a message, other people are spreading it in some ways faster than you. They may say, baloney, I don't buy your message. Here's what the real message is from a news segment. You know, there's so much chatter right now. Something breaks on the news, and there's more chatter on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn about that story than there is people watching the story in the first place. So understanding that there's multiple people saying multiple things about either what you're saying or they're starting their own conversations and they're all using different social media is key to understanding what's going on here. And as long as you start to develop a way to spark this level of communication, if you know how to do it, you can get a lot of people to understand what you're trying to say and to spread the message for you. That's the point. That's the point. Instead of working so hard to get your message out to all of these people, if you can get it out to the right people, the rest of the people will spread that message for you. Okay, now there's a trick to making sure that they spread it in the right way. But, you know, this is, there's a guy named Seth Godin, he's an author, he calls this an idea virus. It's an idea or a communication that starts to spread on its own. John, what you?
No, I was going to ask about that. When the message becomes kind of ever spreading and the tentacles reach out, how do you deal with the risk of the message?
There is, you know, like anything else, there's a lot of distortion of a lot of messages. So we'll talk about that, but ultimately, I think the center of the social media world is a website. Okay, so as you're out spreading the message through social media, you always want to give people the opportunity to go back to the source, and the source is a website. So if you spread that word and they distort it, but they all come back to a link that's a website that gives your original story the main focus, then they can start to see in their own way what the story is and how it is spread and how it's changed over time. Just for everyone in the room, Jonna and Gary represent, you know, a media contingency, and you know, so the question is, how do you use social media to support your core media? And I think the answer is, as the social media starts to take effect, it will naturally drive lots of attention back to the website. In fact, if you were to say the main goal for any online media presence is to expand its audience and through search engine optimization have more people come to your website, the number one way to get more people to come to your website is through links. The more people, if you want to get more people to find you on Google, Google ranks you based on more links, okay? And so the more links you have, what are links? Every time someone's Facebook, someone's Twitter, someone ever, they give a link back to your article, that's a link. So if thousands of people say, you got to read this story today, and they drive back to your website has thousands of links, all of a sudden, the second you Google, you know, something about a story, you come up at the top of the list. Okay, so why Why are there's people on all the major TV networks right now, they Google their stories, they Twitter their stories. They don't Google, they Twitter their stories. Every reporter, every night, before they even go on TV, you start to see they're Twittering everything. Why? Because it's alerting people to the fact that a news story is coming up so that they watch the television. And then when they watch the television, they want more. They go back to the website for Channel 4. We'll say Channel 4. Let's promote Channel 4. Someone's in the audience who's a big fan of Channel 4. And so they go to Channel 4. That helps everything. I mean, Channel 4 then has a bigger audience. Channel 4 can then sell their ads online, on television for more money. So they're building their network. Okay, and this is a very quick thing, but why get into this? This is very easy to do. It's not going to be easy day one, but it is good, fast, and cheap. It's not free, okay? You will have to produce content, okay? You will shoot some video, you will take some pictures, you will do some things, but it's very easy to get into. Very low barrier to entry. And as a media organization, that's what's got to be very disconcerting. Because the media today, you have trucks and very expensive cameras and just a lot of things that make it very difficult for anyone to get into that business. Well, today, and I'm going to show you some case studies of organizations who've led the news story through social media. They broke the story. They had more people go into their Facebook or their Twitter than any news organization did who carried the story. So here are some just quick examples of different types of social media. Some of the very traditional: Facebook, MySpace, LinkedIn. Jigsaw is actually a very interesting one for business people here. If you want contacts, the senior vice president of marketing at XYZ company, they'll give you that information in exchange for some other contacts that you may have. Okay? So it's a whole network. If you need more contacts, you can get them. You could pay for them, or you can trade information. It's a very large network right now.